UK lockdown week 20! Now, whilst most of us were enjoying the glorious sunshine of week 20, the BBC, unfortunately, were hiding under a very, very black cloud. The BBC found themselves blacklisted and receiving up to almost 20,000 complaints when a reporter deemed it acceptable to use the N-word multiple times when reporting on a racially motivated hit and run in Bristol. The victim of the attack was a 21-year-old NHS worker who was walking home after finishing his shift at the Southmead Hospital in Bristol. The victim also happened to be known as the rapper K-Dog. The BBC have since apologised for using the N-word, saying that it was actually not appropriate, and they're now reviewing their acceptable language policy. The BBC have not only had to apologise for the repeated use of the N-word, but they've now lost prominent rising star and Radio 1 extra broadcaster Sideman. Sideman, who handed in his notice at the weekend, said that the BBC's use of the N-word was inappropriate and misjudged, and he said that this felt like a slap in the face to the community.
Yes, Sideman!
Lockdown News would just like to warn you that the next article does contain graphic images. Now, sadly, week 20 of UK lockdown news, you could not have failed to see the huge explosion which went off in the port in Beirut, Lebanon. The huge explosion, which was caused by ammonium nitrate, which has been stored in a warehouse and left for 6 years without being disposed of, caused the death of so far 210 people, with up to 100 people still missing and up to 300,000 people displaced and now made homeless. Here at Lockdown News, our heartfelt sympathies, thoughts and prayers go out to all those that are affected. The footage, due to modern technology, is the biggest explosion to be captured since that of 9/11 and makes for very difficult viewing. Back here in the UK, there's been some positive news in the detection of coronavirus. Scientists believe that they now have a test which can tell in 90 minutes whether you have coronavirus or flu. Current corona swab tests can take anywhere between 24 and 72 hours to return test results. The new 90-minute swab test is going to be rolled out to hospitals and care homes from next week, and the government said this will be a great help in detecting the difference between seasonal flus and the deadly coronavirus. Now, whilst we may have positive news on the testing for coronavirus, we still don't seem to have any further positive news or momentum on the track and trace system.
Over there?
The government promised us a world-beating track and trace system, but so far, the only thing the system seems to be beating is the government.
Do you have coronavirus? Does anyone have coronavirus?
Now, last week, Lockdown News reported on the battle to open schools and re-educate our children, and of course, this may come at the cost of closing other facilities. One of the government's advisors has said that we may have reached maximum capacity, and if we're going to open schools, we may have to consider closing pubs and restaurants.
Hooray! I'll drink to that!
With track and trace failing, and of course the government opening up pubs first in the lockdown to appease the population, here at Lockdown News we've been thinking of solutions which might work for both parties. Last week saw the government's Eat Out to Help Out scheme, which was meant to be a boost to the British economy.
Your pizza, madam.
Of course, this now sits in opposition, with the government wanting to fight obesity. And what better way to learn applied maths and social skills than to send our young children out into pubs and bars up and down the country.
Here's your beer.
Thank you. Here is £5.
And then
How much change do I get?
£1.
Now that is applied maths.
I think it's going to help with track and trace.
Well, that was UK Lockdown Week 20. We hope you enjoyed it. Join me if you can for UK Lockdown Week 21.